What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to DVDs, Nuts, and Popcorn. I'm your host, the PMM, the Physical Media Mac, and I just got back from basically 6 days laying on the beach, drinking brewskis, and having a good time with the family. And, yeah, it's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it. And I basically stayed away from social media. I mean, my social media is not as much as everyone else's. Mine's just basically YouTube. So I stayed away from YouTube. I shouldn't even say that. I not only stayed away from YouTube, I stayed away from my phone, text, phone calls, everything. You know, being a person that's been on call for so many years, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day for my job. You know, when I take a vacation, at least this time I was really good about it. I just put my phone somewhere, didn't worry about who was calling, texting. I had my family with me, so any emergencies happened, I would know about it. So anyway, enough about me. The PMM is back. And I'm going to try to make this video a little quicker than normal. I haven't done a pickups video in a long time, guys. I got a lot to show off, so I'm going to get straight to it. And basically what happened, I didn't think I was going to be out hunting all day long, which I have been finding video games and movies galore. So let's go ahead and get into it, because I'm hungry and I'm tired and I want to go home. All right, let's start off with what I picked up today. This is a couple items I picked up today. I don't know, the box is going to be disorganized. It's going to be a mixture of today, yesterday, weeks ago. Now, forgive me, a lot of these movies I've watched like 3 weeks ago. So if I forget something, that's why. All right, a movie that I don't believe I've seen before, and I might have it on a compilation. Found this for $1 at a thrift store. Wake of Death. I don't know how that was a tongue tire for me. I actually like the name, Wake of Death. Sounds hardcore. Revenge was all he had left. Van Damme. I'm assuming this is post-2000 crapola, but definitely willing to give it a shot. Wake of Death. With the man, the myth, the legend. All right, found this today. This has got to be one of the worst covers of all time. And it has alternate covers. I wish I would have found the alternate cover, because this cover just sucks. This might as well be like a Facebook, your Facebook photo. I don't know, like, it does not look, it really does not relate to Deadly Impact at all. Nothing about that picture tells me this is going to be a movie about Deadly Impact. It says a computer hacker calculates a system of monitoring the slot machines at various Las Vegas casinos. And he and his girlfriend make a killing. Other criminals kidnap the duo and force him to give up the money. Now, this has Fred Williamson in it, but it also has Bo Swenson, right? Or is it Sevenson? Bo Sevenson? Am I saying that right? He's another B-movie legend. I don't think there's a photo on here that's clear enough for you guys to notice him, but yeah, Bo Sevenson. Bo Sevenson. Anyhow, factory sealed. I figured, what the hell, give it a shot. All right, now, you might have noticed that I have not made any $1.25 Bush videos in quite some time, and that's because Dollar Tree $1.25 Bush has went to shit. It is absolutely gone are the days of finding cool stuff there. At least in my area, I have not seen anything. It's the old stuff. It's almost like they're not throwing any of the old stuff away. They're just adding to it, which makes even a more big of a mess trying to sort through every movie. It's really not becoming something I want to do anymore. All of these films, I think, are ones that have been there in the past. I'm not sure if I saw this Seagal collection, but decided to pick that up. It's got Driven to Kill, Today You Die, Mercenary for Justice. These friggin' Buck.25 stickers are the worst. And then Kill Switch, which I've already seen, I believe. Oops. What the hell am I doing? Knocking my windshield wipers on. All right, Buck.25 on that. And then a movie that I saw when I was, hell, I was probably a kid when I watched this. Bad Influence with Rob Lowe and James Spader. It's probably been 20 years since I've seen this, bare minimum. So thought I'd check it out again. If I remember correctly, it was a cool thriller. All right, and then I'm a big fan of country movies and Western films, right? And this is one of the films that I remember being very good that doesn't get talked about a lot. That's come out post 2000s, and that is The Claim. Really remember liking this one. So I'll be checking this out, and as usual, all the movies in this that we picked up, and talking about them in the next video. Inspired by the Thomas Hardy's novel, The Claim is a story of love, struggle, passion, and redemption. Set against the harsh landscape of the Rocky Mountains, in the quest for a fortune, a young man, Dylan Peter Mullen, makes a fateful decision when he trades his wife and child for a sack of gold. Damn, that's some greedy shit right there, boy. All right, next up here. Let me take a sip of my I was about to say brewski. My Kofsky. All right, now, this is a film that, this is Steven Spielberg's first film. Now, believe it or not, I don't believe I've seen this whole film before. And I know people make comparisons. The diesel is the shark in Jaws, kind of metaphors and stuff like that. Now, I watched this movie, but I think I've only watched the first 30 minutes of it, and I got kind of bored, I hate to admit. Or I don't hate to admit, it just is what it is. Might have been a bad night, an off night for me. I mean, at that point, it was just this diesel seemed like it was following him. There was no, his life was not threatened at that point. So I probably needed to wait a little bit longer. But anyway, I know it's a good film. I'm not, eventually I'll watch I'm going to watch it now. Or I'm going to watch it in the next couple of weeks, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I've heard nothing but great things about it. So, yeah, The Duel. Fear is the driving force. Couldn't this movie kind of be explained like, I know you can say that Jaws is the diesel, right? But can't you also say this is a Carrie, but without the Chrysler or whatever cars in Carrie, but now it's a diesel? Or is there, or maybe there's no, I was about to say special forces, not special forces, what the hell am I trying to say? Evil forces or whatever. Is it just a guy driving a diesel, or is there actually some I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Not evil forces, not spiritual forces. All right, I know I'm tired at this point if I can't think of that. Forgive me, guys. I've been laying in the beach for 6 days. My brain is fried. All right, next up here, we got a movie that Ty Lord sent me. Now, this movie is definitely very flawed, but if you're a fan, well, first of all, let me just say this. If you're a fan of Claude Van Damme, definitely give Olivia Gruner movies a chance. because, you know, he's basically the bootleg Van Damme. And he's a badass, man. And, of course, he's from Nemesis, one of the greatest films of all time. So you got to check this out. Assassination X is actually a pretty good movie. Now, I feel like of all the movies that I've seen Gruner in, this movie right here, he's the most brutal and hardcore and just, you know, badass of a dude in this film. There's no joking around with him. There's no reasoning with him. He is an unstoppable force, and he's not to be effed with, let me tell you. And, yeah, there's all kinds of backstabbing going on in here, covert assassination, and it's a fun film, man. Some good shit. Basically, he's an assassin, but now assassins are trying to assassinate him, and yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I enjoyed that one. By the end of the movie, I'm going to figure out what I was trying to say earlier. You know, like in Poltergeist, there's... forget it. All right, next up here. Now, this is a movie I picked up in that MVD shop lot where I picked up all those Wild Eye releases and unearthed films, and just a movie that I hadn't gotten around to seeing until now. And of all the stuff that I picked up in that MVD shop lot, and there was a lot of it, there's probably 14 movies, if not 15 films. This is the one movie that I was like, okay, this is the one I made a mistake on. I'm probably going to hate this film. And because I mentioned it in the past, I like, when it comes to movies like this, action or horror films, I don't mind the comedy, but I don't want the comedy to overtake the action and the horror. In this film, it absolutely does. This is more of a comedy than anything, but it actually works, man. Velocipaster from 2017. Yes, it's a movie about a pastor that turns into a dinosaur, basically. And I'm telling you, it is friggin' hilarious, number one. It has a, believe it or not, it has a great love story. It has great original music. Like, you can jam out to this film. And it's got some touching moments, man. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really enjoyed this one, man. I'm gonna have to give this a high recommend to anyone, especially if you're into like crazy, over-the-top, you know, gore fest of films. I don't know if it's a gore fest, but there's definitely some good practical effects, gore effects in it. It's free on Tubi right now if you guys want to check it out before making a physical, you know, purchase. But man, I really thought this one was good, man. I'll be watching this again soon, man. Again, the music's great. I love the chick in it, man. The main actor, he's a pastor. His parents die. They get murdered, right? And he goes away to another country, I believe. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China to find meaning in life, but instead inherits the ability to allow him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, he basically starts becoming a superhero dinosaur that like kills bad guys and shit. It's fucking badass, man. Oh, I was trying not to cuss. I got a subscriber that doesn't like it when I cuss. I'm trying to do better with that, but of course I screwed it up. Maybe I'll beep it out if I have time. Yeah, the Velocipaster. Check it out. All right, I thought of it finally. Supernatural. I don't know why I couldn't think of Supernatural. So, does the duel have some supernatural to it? Or is it just a crazy, insane guy driving a diesel trying to run this guy off the road? I don't know. We'll have to find out. All right, next up here from that MVD lot, we have Main Street Meats. This is a 2017 film. And, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. A struggling family that owns a meat shop in a little small town is about to go bankrupt, and there's another girl that car breaks down. She's traveling through town, so she ends up like working for them, and there's this one annoying customer that the son that works at the meat market ends up killing because she's so annoying. And then he gets the idea to chop her up, and they start serving her at the meat market, and now the lions are going down the street. So the father finds out the son did it, and the father, the daughter and the son decide this is the way we need to do it from now on. So they send the son out to go kill people, and so they keep stocking the freezers and chopping up people to serve them to the customers and stuff. It's a pretty good film, man. I can't say I loved it, but it's not a bad movie. I think it had some pretty good practical effects in it as well, practical gore, although there was some CGI blood at times, if I remember correctly. But yeah, not bad at all, man. I'd check it out if I was you. All right, again from MVD. This is a Wild Eye release here. First-person shooter. Now, for me, I didn't really love this film, and I kind of struggled to get through it because it gets a little bit repetitive. But, you know, it's different than any other movie. It's literally, you are in a first-person shooter. Like, this is a very game-driven movie. It is actually, it's like you're in a game. And, like, you see him scoring points when he kills people and, you know, picking up an extra life or whatever. You see him die and have to respawn. And the gun doesn't look like it's a real gun. It looks like it's kind of like a video game gun a little bit. So, but you know, even though it's like it's based on a video game, it looks real. So it's like kind of has that like reality first person shooter type of vibe going. Like, I noticed with some of the video games now, they're starting to get to the point where it actually looks like you're really killing people. I don't know if you guys remember, like, the guy who went into the grocery store and he put a camera like on his gun when he's shooting all those people and stuff. You know, terrible what he did. You know, God bless the family and friends of those people. But at one point, my guy at work, one of my maintenance guys at work, was showing me the video of it, and I thought it was a video game. I thought it was like, I couldn't even believe it. I told him, I said, this is not real. There's no way this is freaking real. So it kind of has that kind of vibe a little bit, and that's how video games are starting to turn. They're starting to look like that a lot. But you can tell it's fake, though. It just, parts of it look real. But anyway, yeah, this is a zombie first-person shooter game movie. That's basically what it is. Oh, and so the guy has a really cool voice. Like, that, you know, not that he's narrating, but I guess you can say he's narrating. He's talking throughout the movie, and he's saying stuff like, a tisket, a tasket, my shotgun just blasted. I mean, I'm making something up, but he's saying these weird, like, poems throughout the movie, and he's, like, saying stuff, oh, this is my boomstick. He's, like, copying stuff from, like, Evil Dead, and he's saying all kinds of stuff like, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, you know, just doing all these hymns and poems and stealing stuff from other movies and saying, like, quotes from other movies, like Clint Eastwood stuff, like Make My Day, and all kinds of stuff. Probably the best part of the movie, actually. But this is definitely not going to be for everybody, but definitely a cool addition to the collection because it's so unique. All right, so this is, I'm not going to lie to you, this is really not that good of a movie. As much as I want it to be, when I saw that DMX was in a movie with our boy Lou Diamond Phillips, I was like ecstatic. I thought it was going to be the greatest thing, and it definitely let me down. 2008's Death Toll, like I said, DMX, Lou Diamond, and One of the problems with this movie is DMX is not theoretically in it. I mean, he's more of like a narrator than an actual character. Like, he's supposed to be the drug lord in the movie, but he only does these like little narration deals where he's like talking to the camera, you know, with a green screen type of scenario. And then I gotta say, man, Lou Diamond Phillips mails this one in, man. He really does, unfortunately. But I don't know, man. It's not the best, but it's got. I don't want to say it's so bad that it's good, because it's not really that good. But I don't know, man. I wish it was better, man. That's all I can say. Now, I promised my twin brother, Mr. Tidy Whitey, that I would give all my video games to him to show on his channel. So I can't show you guys, but found all these at half-price books for definitely lower prices than they're worth. Factory sealed 4 Wii games, and then 3 factory sealed Xbox original games. So somewhere down the road, you're going to see these and a lot more video games showing up on a Goodwill hunting video. So definitely nice finding some games over at half-price books, because it's been hard to find video games there that you can beat them on the price. And they definitely got beat today. All right. One of those might be worth a lot of money, guys. It just might. All right, I need to rush through this now. This is a very interesting George A. Romero film. You know, I've seen a lot of his stuff, and this right here is a unique film. It says the games, the romance, the spirit. Camelot is a state of mind. And it's basically, I want to say it's set like in the 1970s, it looks like. And the main character, let me make sure I get this right. What is his name? Okay, Ed Harris. So Ed Harris is pretty young in this movie. He's the main star. He's the king. And basically they make this, I don't know if you call it a gang or a group, but they basically they act like they're knights from the Round Table, or, you know, back in the day when knights used to ride horses and use those huge javelins against each other. They're basically doing that on motorcycles. And you know, they travel somewhere all together like they're gypsies, and then they set up and they have this, you know, however long they stay there, and people come to see them and stuff, and then they, you know, they fight to see who. And Ed Harris is the king, right? And he has a queen, and they sit on the throne. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not think I was gonna, when I first started watching it, I was like, oh, this is just too bizarre, I'm not gonna like this. I actually enjoyed this, man. It actually, I finally started liking, oh shit, I forgot to tell you guys. I finally started liking this. This is what's cool about this movie. I never knew that Tom Savini, you know, the famous makeup artist, right? With Friday the 13th and all these other films. He is actually in this movie. And he's the guy that is the main, like, knight. The most badass knight that's trying to become the king. And if you win this tournament, you become the king. So I didn't know that Tom Savini was that good of an actor, but he actually does a really good job in this movie, man. I was very impressed. I thought he did a great job. But, yeah, I mean, I'm really screwing up explaining this movie. I'm telling you right now, this is a super unique film, and I think you guys should check it out, man. Shout Factory release here on Blu-ray. Had to order this off of eBay, I believe. Yeah, man. Interesting shit, man. All right, picked this up from Goodwill the other day. It's got the two never-ending stories. I grew up on these. I don't necessarily remember the second one. So I need to watch those, get some popcorn, watch that as a doubleheader. Who doesn't love the never-ending story, man? Where he's riding that giant, big-headed, goofy, snuffleupagus-looking thing. All right, another Goodwill pickup here. I thought this was a cool 4-feature here. And, yeah, I don't think I've gotten around to seeing Bad Moon yet. And that's supposed to be a cool werewolf flick. It's got Wolfen, which I saw as a kid. And I remember being terrified by it, but it's a very weird movie. It's like, it's very interesting. It's I don't know. Is it about real? I think it has. Yeah, it's a wolf movie. I'm gonna have to check it out again. I don't want to judge it and say I don't remember if I liked it or not. It's got Body Snatchers. I don't know which one that is. There's been so many Body Snatcher movies, and then it's got a movie with Guinevere Buchholz, which I remember her in a bunch of films. And then it's got a young Michael Douglas in it called Coma. I started to watch it, but it's like an hour and 50 minutes. I'll let you guys know when I check those out. This is a movie right here I picked up to flip. Rough Night in Jericho. Because it is a Kino Lorber release. So I figured I'd make a little money on that. Probably need to check it out first, though. It's got Dean Martin in it. George Papard. And Gene Simmons. All right. That's not the Kiss, Gene Simmons. All right, next up here. Another Wild Eye film that I showed off a few weeks ago. Finally got around to checking this out. This is a pretty cool film, man. How can I explain this one? Let me just read the synopsis. Alex lives alone and isolated in the countryside and is also harboring a very dark secret deep in the pit of his stomach. After he is bullied and tormented by some work colleagues, the hate-fueled monster growing inside him has no choice but to break free and help him take very bloody revenge on all who dare attack him. So yeah, very interesting film. It's kind of like rhetorical or hit like a hidden meaning, or one of those films like there's a demon inside of you, right? The devil inside of you or whatever. But literally, this guy has this demon that literally comes out of his stomach, and something happens in the beginning of the movie where it enters him, and then now it'll come out of his stomach, and it'll take revenge on his bullies and stuff. And it also helps, like, this girl that he works with and stuff, and helps get revenge and helps protect her. But then it starts going too far, and, like, not just protecting, but it starts killing. And then the chick's like, whoa, what is going on here? And then there's also, like, a twist to the film you find out at the end of the movie. So it's a pretty good twist. I enjoyed this, man. Low budget stuff, but it's like it's good. It's a decent flick, man. It's not bad at all. You can see, like, there's a monster inside his stomach. All right. Oh man, we got a lot to go here. All right, another MVD pickup here. This is another film that I really enjoyed from that MVD. I'm telling you, that MVD lot that I bought, I hit the jackpot on it. Made a lot of good decisions on picks. And no different here. This is a 2017 film called Bone Hill Road. The reason I picked this up is because it's a werewolf film, and I heard it's a pretty damn good one. When this film started out, I was like, oh man, this is going to be the shittiest movie. Because it's very low budget, but then all of a sudden, you see the werewolves. The werewolves are the star of the film. The werewolves are practical. I mean, they're probably guys wearing hairy werewolf suits or whatever, but it's really well done. And yeah, it's badass, man. I mean, I really liked it. Now, this is an interesting film. I think it's a mother and her daughter traveling along the countryside, and the car breaks down, and now werewolves are chasing them. If that's not terrifying enough, they finally find a house, right, to get away, and then they go into the house because no one's answering the door when they're knocking on it, and they find these chicks with their hands duct taped behind them at a table, and as it turns out, they're entering a home of a serial killer, rapist, sicko friggin' guy. God, I can't stop cussing. And so now they get duct taped or roped to the back of the chairs, and now they're like sitting at the table. He's got all these chicks around a dining room table. He's got one upstairs that he's, I think, raped and killed. He's like chopping her into little pieces. He comes down, he's like cooking on the stovetop pieces of their slabs of meat, and he's serving it to all the girls. And I'm just thinking the whole movie, I'm like, what? Why are they not telling him, like, this is a perfect moment? You know, I know they're in shock, and there's a lot of craziness going on in this house, but I would be telling that serial killer, hey, do you know that there's killer werewolves outside the door? You know, they never say nothing about the werewolves at all. It's so fucking hilarious. So freaking hilarious. But, yeah, an interesting plot to have the werewolves chasing them, and then they go into an even worse situation, and then those two worlds collide as the werewolves start trying to come into the house and stuff. And, yeah, man, very over the top, super freaking gory film. And lots of great practical effects, cutting, ripping of flesh, and a really cool film, man. I can see how some people might not like it. It might not be for everybody, but I thought it was pretty badass, man. I'd say check it out, man. If you're a fan of werewolf films, serial killer films, pick this one up, definitely. Abduction films. Bone Hill Road. All right, next up here, we got a Van Damme film I picked up from Goodwill. All my Goodwill pickups are usually about $2. Sometimes they're $1. All right, so basically this movie, Derailed, is a train film, obviously. And, you know, every movie tries to copy Die Hard. This is Die Hard on a train. Just like the other Steven Seagal films, right? This is basically him replacing Steven Seagal in that movie where he's in, Under Siege 2 or whatever the hell it's called. Now, there's a hilarious scene where he's like driving a dirt bike, jumping a truck, and landing on top of the train. It's just so bad that it's good. But, yeah, this is probably post-2000 Van Damme, so it's not the best, but it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty good film. A train rockets across Eastern Europe. On board are Christoph, international action superstar Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Galena, Laura Ellen Haring. John Q, a beautiful high-tech thief. Holding the passengers hostage are a band of terrorists who have come to steal the bioweapon hidden on board. With the train out of control, on a collision course for danger, Christoph becomes a one-man army, taking on the terrorists and trying to save lives of everyone on board. It's like 100 other Van Damme films post-2000. All right, Ty Lord also sent me this. Sorry, I'm not doing it in a package. I mixed it up with the other stuff. I'm disorganized. You know, I've never really been into the Dolomite films or anything like that, but I guess I should take the journey down that road and start checking it out. This is a Dolomite film right here called The Human Tornado. Yeah, man. The most essential Dolomite movie. Dolomite Returns. Very cool. Alright, let me try to race through these now. Alright, a movie that I really rolled the dice on, that I was surprisingly happy at the end of this film, man. Captivity 2007. Really not a bad film at all. I thought the lead was super hot and did a good job. The acting overall was pretty decent in the film. Definitely channeling some Saw vibes. Without a doubt, it had some good gore and torture scenes in the film. It's pretty brutal. There's the chick right there, man. She's smoking hot. And, yeah, this had, I'm going to forget his name now. Basically, this is a model that's kidnapped and wakes up in the cellar, but then, and she's held captivity by someone, and then all of a sudden, her boyfriend or someone she works with, she finds out is also there in the same house, but there's like a twist to it, and but the guy from, I'm not going to remember his name, he has kind of a random name. Let me see if I can find it here. Pruitt Taylor Vince, I think is his name. He was in The Devil's Candy. He was the crazy mental guy in The Devil's Candy. And he's a really good actor. He's in this film. And, yeah, not a bad film, man. I would say check it out. If you like Saw and movies like that. All right, picked up this 4-pack right here. Now, I've watched Macon County Line, and I liked it, man. I thought it was a good film. Kind of a bleak film, man, about these people that these guys that are traveling across country and break down in like the wrong area where there's a sheriff that has something out to prove, you know, and kind of gives you the vibes of like a First Blood a little bit. But these guys are just boys out to have fun before they go into the military. They're actually going to go fight for the country and stuff. But the sheriff, you know, he doesn't take a liking to him. Let me put it to you that way. And there's a misunderstanding that happens, and it turns into this whole big ordeal. Good film. I really enjoyed that one. I finally got around to watching Pure Country with George Strait. I liked it. It was pretty good. I'm not going to say I'm going to go back and watch it again, but it was decent. And then we have The Ballad of Little Joe. I have not checked that out. And then a Willie Nelson film called Honeysuckle Rose. $2 Goodwill pickup. This is a movie that I've not gotten around. I tried to start watching this one and was really bored at the beginning of it, so I don't know. Might have to drink a few before I can get into this, but it's got Dennis Hopper. I'm a big fan of Dennis Hopper, and Stephen Dorff's in this as well. Space Truckers. Sounded like it'd be cool, but who knows? Maybe it sucks. All right, another movie that Ty Lord sent me. I have the feeling this is going to be horrible, but I did used to watch Kevin Sorbo in was it Hercules movies? Yeah, the Hercules series. And then also he was in not Sheba. What was the chick? The chick's film. Not Athena. I'm thinking of all the wrong females. I can't think of her name. But he was in another series with the girl. Tales of an Ancient Empire. It's got Michael Pear in it, which we'll talk about in a minute, from Streets of Fire. I don't know, I got a bad feeling about that one, Ty-Lord. All right, man, the movie that I bought on the fly, like, I was looking up something else, and then I saw this on eBay, and I was like, oh, shit. Our boy, Brian Bosworth, did another film, because he did that movie, I think it was called Out Cold. No, not Out Cold. I think it was Stone Cold. There's 2 Stone Cold films, but he did one Stone Cold movie, and it's got Lance Hendrickson in it, and it's a biker film. It's a pretty badass action film I really enjoyed. And then I saw this, and I was like, holy shit. He's in another film. And this movie came out in 1995, One Man's Justice. Alternate title to this movie is One Tough Bastard, which I absolutely love. I think that should be the name of the title. I wish it wasn't One Man's Justice. So Brian Bosworth's in this. Jeff Kober from The First Power, the movie with Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but he plays a great bad guy, and he was really good in The First Power, if you've never seen that. A satanic serial killer cop movie. But the guy who takes over the film and is the most interesting character and plays the most badass role in the film is, besides Bosworth's a badass, is an actor named Bruce Payne, and I could not figure what the hell he's done before. He looks so familiar, and then later on I was reading Wikipedia and I found out Bruce Payne was the bad guy in Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes. He is a badass in this film, man. He has all kinds of cool one-liners in the movie. At one point, so he's an FBI agent, and he becomes responsible for, he's a bad FBI agent, and he becomes responsible for killing Brian Bosworth's wife and his young daughter, and puts Brian Bosworth like in a coma, and he wakes up, and now he has to go after the people. Basically what happens is his wife and daughter go into a gas station, and that becomes there's a shootout with Cobra's character and this gang, and they get killed, held hostage, and they both end up getting killed. So the person that's pulling the trigger behind that, or pulling the strings, is Bruce Payne's character, the dirty FBI agent. And there's one scene where Bruce, like, he does one-liners through the whole film, but there's one scene where he's acting like he's dressed up like a highway patrol officer, and he pulls this one guy over, and the guy's like, why are you pulling me over? And he tells him, well, don't you know it's against the law to drive dead? And he shoots him, like hilarious lines like that. Now, MC Hammer is the drug lord in this film. I mean, there's so much going on with this movie. There's all kinds of other actors that do cameos and stuff that you'll recognize. This is a really fun film. Is it flawed? Yes, it's really flawed. It tries to bring, one of the mistakes this movie makes, it tries to bring this black young kid into the movie, like the Fresh movie, or, you know, it reminds me of Fresh, with a young black kid in the movie. And at one point, Jeff Kober's character gets a key of cocaine from MC Hammer, and decides to give the key of cocaine to like a 13-year-old kid to jump on a bus and go deliver it for like 2 keys of heroin, which makes no sense at all. And then Bosworth starts being like a role model to this young black kid. It doesn't work. But anyway, really badass action sequences through the film, man. Everything's blowing up. People are on fire. Guys are using blow torches and missiles, and planes are I mean, it's really a fun action film. Highly recommend this one. I know no one ever talks about this. Yeah, man. If you're a Bosworth, if you liked the Stone Cold film, I think you need to check this one out, man. Now, let's put that down there. Run out of breath, man. Now, let's make sure I'm not missing anything here. All right, those are the games. I'm not going to show you those. I'll save those for last. A couple of laser discs I just found. All right, so I finally got around to seeing I See You with Sylvester Stallone. I even posted on my community page that no one ever talks about this film, and so far I'm enjoying it. I think I was like 30 minutes into it. It's got The Rock in it. It's got the oh, excuse me. It's got the guy from it's got Tom Berenger in it, Charles S. Dutton, Rock, like I said. It's got Sean Patrick Flannery, who was obviously in RoboCop 2, or not RoboCop 2, Terminator 2. He's the Terminator, remember? That turns liquid and stuff, which is a really good actor. It's got Chris Christopherson. I mean, it's got a ton, and obviously Sylvester Stallone's in it. It's got a ton of great actors in it, and holy shit, does this movie fail on so many levels. By the end of this film, I was like shaking my head. It is not a good movie, man. The direction just goes south. It is just, it doesn't work, man. As much I would love to tell you this film is good, I just can't tell you it's good. If you read the synopsis, it sounds like it's going to be badass. It's got Sylvester Stallone in it. A brutal serial killer is targeting cops, and Detective Jake Malloy is on his way. But now the killer is making it personal, and his dedication to twisted... the sticker's covering it. Anyway, in this movie, I believe he kills... Wait a second. I think he kills his wife and kid as well in this film. Like in the Bosworth film. Let me see. And his dedicated agent is twisted in an emotional nightmare. Time is running out. So are the options. Malloy engages in an extreme game of cat and mouse with a killer who won't be stopped. So yeah, the killer kills his family. I think his partner. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this. But yeah, man, I can't give you a recommendation on this one, man. This movie, there's a reason why people don't talk about it. It's not a very good film. And it's in the serial killer, Stallone, in the snow. Like, it has a lot of elements that I would like, but it fails in every aspect. All right, everybody knows this is a classic. I watched this again recently. I figured why not pick it up on Blu-ray for $3. Sling Blade with Billy Bob Thornton. Obviously, he directed this. Did an incredible acting job in the film. And, you know, I wish I could remember the guy's name. I'm not going to tell you much about this movie because everybody knows about this film. But there's an actor in this film. Let me just say this. Dwight Yoakam plays a really great stepdad type of character in this film. He's a total asshole. I don't know Dwight Yoakam in doing any other films, so it's kind of cool that he appears in this film and does such a good job. I don't know the name of the guy in this film. It might be J.T. Walsh or... Oh, I forgot. John Ritter plays the gay friend of the girl who's with Dwight Yoakam. And the dad, the kid in the movie who meets Billy Bob Thornton's character who gets out of a mental hospital. I told you guys I wasn't going to explain it. But anyway, he killed his mother's having an affair when he was a young man. And he thought the mother was getting raped, so he kills him. He's slow in the head, you know, a little bit. He has a mental disability. And so he does a lot of time. And when he gets out, he becomes friends with this little kid, and that's where the Yoakam and the mother come into the situation. But the mother is like best friends with John Ritter, and man, I just love John Ritter, man. From back in the Three's Company days, it's so cool seeing him in films. And but yeah, he plays the gay friend of hers, and he's kind of funny in this film. But what else was I going to say? I don't know if that's J.T. Walsh. There's another character in this film that is really good. And he's in the beginning of the film and he's in the very end of the film. And Billy Bob Thornton's character is a very quiet guy. And like in the mental hospital, he's just staring out the window. And this other guy is like curled up really close to him and explaining all his exploits of how he raped and killed children and women and just like, you know, just gloating on the fact he killed all these women and stuff and raped them and stuff. He's a super creepy, like, asshole of a character, but it's really well done in this film. So Billy Bob Thornton's character kind of just takes it at first, you know, but when he returns back to the mental hospital after he does his dirt in this film, he's kind of had enough of his shit, and you know, but yeah, man, I don't know why. I like the way that role was played. All right, let me see here. I want to make sure I didn't miss out on anything. Oh shit, yeah, I was gonna miss out on something. All right, so I think I heard good things about this. This is another cool pickup. I picked this up today. Abraxas, a Jesse Ventura Guardian of the Universe film. It says, in a faraway galaxy, a legion of supermen has been developed to police the universe. Enough, sold. Jesse Ventura. Only one man has the power to destroy them. Abraxas. It's got Jim Belushi in it. I don't know the other guys. In a faraway galaxy, a legion of supermen has been developed to police the universe. I just said that. It's written on the front and the back. So yeah, looking forward to checking that and telling you about it. All right, now, 2 Laserdisc. Now, I caught Half Price Books tripping on prices today. It's hard to find them messing up on anything as far as used stuff. But for whatever reason, they have a problem pricing sealed stuff. That's usually when you find the errors, you know. My twin brother, he had such a, you know, unbelievable career on YouTube, picking up amazing finds for cheap prices at Half Price Books back in the day, back when they used to call them RPGs. Nowadays, you don't find those type of finds at Half Price Books. The only way you're going to catch them messing up on prices is with sealed stuff. And that happened with the video games today. And that happened with a Laserdisc find here, a pretty epic Laserdisc find here. We'll get to that one last. We'll save the best for last. But this is a film I talked about recently. I couldn't remember if I had this on Laserdisc or I picked it up on DVD. But I really like the cover, and it's in really great shape. And again, these newer edition Laserdisc like this, they look as good as DVD. So definitely a cool collection, addition to my collection on Laserdisc. If I have it on Laserdisc, I'll go ahead and give it away to somebody. But I'm sitting in Half Price Books and I'm like, all right, now I have my 4-part Laserdisc collection videos on YouTube. I can sit there and watch the S's, but the S's take like 45 minutes. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I was running out of time and wanted to get this video recorded. So Streets of Fire, just like it says there, a rock and roll fable. That's exactly what it is. And it's just a movie that really just oozes coolness, man. Cool movie with like original music, great music, and it's a Walter Hill film, man. Really enjoy this one. And of course, my boy is in this. Well, Rick Moranis is in it, who I love, but the bad guy in this film. Why is it not listing the bad guy in the movie? It's my boy Why am I forgetting my boy's name? Again, my head's fried from the sun. It does not mention his name on the back. That's so insane. William Dafoe. William Dafoe is such a great bad guy. One, if not my favorite actor of all time. I just love William Dafoe and everything he does. And this is one of his better roles in this film for sure. And Diane Lane is great and is a rock star. What more can I say about that? All right, last pickup here. And we're about at an hour. We're about at an hour. So again, once again, I've lied for the 100th time on this channel. Every video I do is an hour, no matter what I say. Why is a vehicle pulling up right next to me out in the street? Hold on. Please hold. All right, so yeah, man, Half Price Books had a lot of cool Laserdiscs there. Unfortunately, they had the used stuff. They're on top of the pricing on the used stuff. They had scanners. They had like the original scanners, Scanners 2, but they were $25 a piece. They had a movie called Mutant, but I think that was like 25 bucks. They had another Laserdisc for like 40 bucks. They had some cool stuff there. They had some factory sealed stuff. But some of the factory sealed stuff, it's really a risk. I don't like opening factory sealed stuff. I'd rather flip it. And some of it was a little bit risky as far as selling, like Sleepwalkers, the Stephen King film. They had that factory seal, but like the corner was bent on it. So, I don't know. I didn't want to take the chance on it because it was like 20 bucks. But anyway, definitely the find of the day for sure. We have on Laserdisc, factory sealed, Phantasm 2. The ball is back. For 10 years, the secret of Perigord Cemetery has remained a mystery. Now the ultimate evil is about to be revealed. Digital sound stereo. Yeah, man, $14.99. They have the U on there that stands for used. So I have no idea how they're confusing this with used. It is factory sealed. And also, I don't see any bends in it, which is really badass. There's no copies of this on eBay or Amazon right now, factory sealed like this. And used copies of this, I think, go for 30, 40 bucks. So this right here could be worth, I don't know, anywhere between 50 and 100 bucks, if not more. So yeah, really cool Half Price Books find here. Now I have Phantasm 1. And the Phantasm series in general is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I have Phantasm 1 on Laserdisc for sure. And I think I have Phantasm, I might be lying. I might not have any of the other Phantasm films. This is my second one. See, the only problem with this, guys, is I don't think I can open this up, man. I just don't think I can do it, man. Probably going to flip this. I'll keep it on the shelf as eye candy for a little while. Show it off a few more times. I have the Blu-ray Phantasm set that I still haven't even opened yet. That has all the films in it. So, yeah, really cool pickup here. The tall man is back with vengeance, armed with the lethal brand of flying spears. The deadly mortician who terrified audiences for 9 years ago, or terrified audiences 9 years ago, and the original cult classic returns more dangerous than ever as he seeks new recruits for his army of the undead. Yeah, man, really cool film. A lot of people prefer this one over the original, man. This is when they finally had a budget. They didn't have much of a budget in the first film, but Phantasm 2, they spent a lot of money on this film, and it looks great, man. A lot more gore, a lot more flying spears, a lot more supernatural effects, and rest in peace to the tall man there. All right, guys, that is it. that's my pickup of the day from Half Price Books. Phantasm 2, factory sealed. Let me make sure I didn't miss out on anything. I think that's it. All right, guys, good luck out there in the wild, finding whatever physical media that you are looking for. And yeah, it feels good to make another video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And comment below if you guys have seen any of the movies that I've showed. And if you have anything you want to talk about regarding any of the movies that I showed. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. See you in the next video. Have a great rest of your week. I'm probably going to, I have off the next 3 days. Actually, tomorrow's still my vacation day. And probably going to get on the other channel and play some more Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Because I stopped like literally 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I do not want to do that. I'm more than halfway through with the game. So I'm going to finish that up. And maybe even do some streaming on the Xbox One, showing off the Modern Warfare 2. I can't believe people are still gaming on this game after all these years. They're playing multiplayer on Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops 1, not so much, but Black Ops 1, I think you can still get it in the games. And Black Ops 2 as well. So, yeah, I might stream some of that as well. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm the PWM, the Physical Media Mac, and I will be back.